What's going on, everyone? My name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music for the first time as a musician myself. Sorry, my voice is a little shot. But today is the return of a huge game called Super Mario 64. We're listening to 3 songs today. I guess they're all remixes of each other. We're listening to the original main theme, Bob-omb Battlefield, from MK Will Freak 27, followed by the Mario Kart World Big Band version called the 64 main theme from We Plays, followed by the Latin guitar version from We Plays, requested by Natty, David, and the Angel Boy 17. Just as a quick side note before I get started, I know a lot of people assume that I only play RPGs because that's all I've played for the past 3 years. But in 2026, in case you weren't aware, on my stream and my VOD page, I pretty much deemed 2026 the year of Nintendo, so I'm going to be finally playing Nintendo for the first time, not counting Xenoblade. So, I'm not saying I'm going to play this game, but I'm just, I finally get to meet like Marios and Kirby's and all that. So, yeah. Anyways, let's hear this game that I've been hearing about for the past 3 decades, Super Mario 64. This is the main theme, I guess, Bob-omb Battlefield. Did I got that right? Let's go. Koji Kondo? Yeah, right. I just feel like a bunch of memories are flooding back to people. Jeez. I'm already imagining a Latin guitar version of this. I can hear it. It's interesting that the main theme would have its own title. I feel like this was still the era of just calling something main theme music. I mean, without a title. I can hear it. The horns and everything. It's so whimsical and fun. It says 2 million views on it. You might say this game is popular. Maybe. It's actually really well needed because today kind of sucked. Combined with my voice, I needed something to pick me up. Thank you. I gotta admit, the Nintendo 64 has really cool percussive sounds because of the limitation. Like, that's a really snappy snare. Then you got the hi-hat over here. They made it work, you know what I mean? Oh, there's still 50 seconds of this video left, so if nothing happens in the next 5 seconds, I'm gonna stop it. Okay. Yeah, that's it. If there's anything more after that, I'm sorry, but okay. I'm gonna keep it brief, but in case you weren't aware, I'll just kind of give you a brief history, because I feel like with this game I have to talk about this. This is one of the games that kind of inspired the whole like auditorium idea. There wasn't just like one thing, but when I had the idea to start hearing songs of games I haven't played, guess what the first thing that came to my mind was? Mario, Zelda, anything Nintendo, because I grew up with the Sega Genesis and into the Sony PlayStation, and pretty much just stayed Sony the whole time. It wasn't until, well, outside of the Game Boy Color that I had in the late 90s. God, sounds so old. The late 90s. Up until literally a year ago when a fan bought me a Switch. Otherwise, I wouldn't have got a Switch. So I mean, that was for Xenoblade. But then, as I finished Xenoblade, I started to think to myself, I'm like, damn, I have a Nintendo console now. Of course, the new one comes out a year later, but it really made me think, like, what can I play now? This is my opportunity because I'm so used to playing these 200-hour plus RPGs and these turn-based games and stuff. People are going to start assuming that that's just all I play, which is not true. I like all kinds of games. At the end of the day, I play games based on their soundtracks. It just happens to be that JRPGs have some amazing soundtracks. But so does Nintendo, and so does, other stuff, right? This is going to be fun to go back to. I haven't really decided completely my entire game list. Some of them are public on my backlog page, which is in my description, but not all of them. Some of them are secret. But I still haven't even decided like all of them. But the idea is instead of like 200-hour games, I'm going to be playing all these like platformers and iconic characters, and these games are like 20 hours, 30 hours. I can do that in a week if I wanted to. So that's exciting. I can go through more games, kind of kill the backlog, and yeah, it's just really exciting. Anyways, this game is one of the probably like, is de facto the word I'm thinking of here? Probably not. I haven't used that word in years. But this is one of the games I think of when I default to stuff I haven't experienced. You have to imagine what it was like being 7 to 10 years old, and this is just came out, and it's like peak popularity. It's just, you're growing up alongside of it. You see it, you hear it, everyone's talking about it. This logo is like so iconic to me, and yeah, I didn't get to experience it. I don't know how it was for you being a kid, but for me, it was like we had one console and that was it. We were not that luxurious. So either way, I'm excited to play this. Sorry, I keep saying this. I'm excited to play Nintendo. Sorry, my brain is totally fried. I'm excited to play Nintendo in 2026 and just, experience all this stuff because I've been very curious for over 3 decades. This, to me, I know we're going to hear 2 more songs really quick, but I just wanted to mention that sometimes I talk about like my mind state before I record, just to give you an idea how I'm feeling, because not every video I'm going to be like, whoa, yeah, so crazy, dude. I don't do that anyways, but I just want to give an idea that today like was really bad. So I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, this was cool. It put me in a good mood, And you would know if I'm faking it because I don't do it. But this is a genuine smile. So, cool. Interesting that it has its own name. I really feel like the late 90s stuff didn't really have titles, maybe. Wasn't too common. This is a game that I've been checking out recently. This is Mario Kart World on the Switch 2. Yeah. This is the main theme, the big band version. Let's see if I remember the motif. Yoshi's Restaurant. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I really do like this image. I don't know what the name of it is. It's not fisheye, but like this whole like distorted thing where you can see everything, and that's a really cool idea. Like, I see everything. I see a desert, I see a volcano, I see an aurora borealis, I see a beachfront city, I see canyons, I see a castle. You know what, honestly? I'm still listening, by the way. I need games like this too. RPGs are great in storytelling, but man, they're so sad and serious all the time. I need like hee hee ha ha, turn my brain off video games. Sounds pretty faithful, original. This reminds me of a certain song I did for Maple Story years ago. I don't know which one it was, but if you search Maple Story, It's like this one or just two videos I did. Ooh. Yeah, that's never gonna get past me. I hear that all the time. You know what this sounds like right here, right now? It sounds like the intro to a sitcom from like the mid-90s. Family Matters. Or I'll make up a sitcom right now, hanging with the auditorium. People's names show up on screen. Like, I love saxophone like that too. Like that kind of like freestyle sort of. This is really cool. I don't hear a lot of big band music. This is such a treat though, for people that grew up with the series. You can tell. By the way, that picture of Donkey Kong over there, that's the happiest I've ever seen him. He always looks pissed. He's cheesing it up there. He's holding a burger though, that makes sense. Nice. So, really quick, I never, like I said, when I've seen Mario Kart World, I'm usually looking at the background. But this is one of the few times where I'm like staring at the characters, and I can probably name like 4 of them. Honestly, I've seen a lot of them, but I can only really name here. Let's test my knowledge. Closest to me is Wario. Down here is Yoshi. Sorry, this is already bad. Next to him is Luigi, Mario, Bowser, Peach. Is that Peach with the next to Bowser? Toad, Donkey Kong. That's it. Oh, no, Waluigi. Every other character I've seen, but I don't know their name. I've seen the ghost-looking character. I've seen the mushroom character. Oh, I'm sorry. There's way more characters I've never even seen before, though. Like that star I've seen before, but I don't know if that's ever been a character. I just thought that was like an item or something. Anyways, this is a really interesting timing for me to hear this. In the background of me hearing it, I was thinking of something very specific, which is, for those that don't know, which is probably many of you, I'm self-taught. You know, I've been playing guitar for over 20 years, like 22 years, something like that. But it's all self-taught, just using my intuition of hearing sounds and putting them to a fretboard and all that. But you know, there's a whole lot of music theory I did not know and blah 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 blah. But anyways, I started like taking lessons recently, also like privately, but also on my own time, like just on YouTube, and just kind of really like studying, because it's never too late, and I wanted to, you know, explain what I'm not for this channel, but for me, you know, just to explain what I've been doing for all this time. Anyways, so that's going through my head now, hearing this, because I heard the original, and now I'm trying to use my newfound knowledge of theory and like, oh, how do they turn that into a big band thing? You know, how do they alter it? They take the same chords, they turn them into, you know what I mean? So I was thinking of all that, and that's what makes stuff like this fascinating now. So if I heard this basically like just a few months ago, I would have thought it's really good, because it is. But then it would have just stayed there because I have no connection to it. I didn't grow up with it. But now, pretty much any video I do from here on out is enhanced just because I have way more knowledge of music. So a little late, sorry, to the past 2,000 videos, but yeah, I mean, I'm really just over here. I mean, I'm not going to explain this stuff because that's not, my channel's not focused on like teaching or telling you guys, you know, this is a A minor 7, blah, blah, blah. You don't care about that. It's just, it's interesting to see under the hood what's happening, you know. Really cool. Last thing I'll say about this one, it's really, besides it being very awesome, is that this is one of the most underexplored genres I've ever had, because this is like way before my time. Even now, it's the thing about big band music is that it kind of peaked when it peaked, and then it's just always been on a decline. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just that era is just no more, and it never really got a resurgence. I think the closest it ever got to being popular again, honestly, was Family Guy, because Seth MacFarlane is a big band fan, and the music in Family Guy is like big band. But I'm not saying it doesn't show up anywhere, but it's like it's just a very not common genre at all. So it's kind of fascinating hearing it, because it's like, okay, well, this was popular when I was like negative 70 years old, but I don't know. I just have a newfound appreciation for it, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at. The Latin theme. Now, Latin can mean so many things here, but the last time I heard a Latin theme from Mario Kart World blew my mind. Da, 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 da. This is this Mario 64 main theme Latin version. Let's go. That's the first thing. That's the first thing I was waiting for. The horn, the trumpet. I knew it. Question: does every song have a Latin version, or just some? Like, is it always A song, B remix, C remix, D remix? Or is it just kind of scattered? I was kind of afraid it wouldn't work, but it works. Again, my music brain is going off now. Like, oh, they're going into this. Okay. Yeah. Okay. They're really being faithful to the genres. This genre music has these like musical break interludes, so it works. It's fascinating, though, to be honest. You just stay in the key of the song, and then you can just kind of do whatever. At the end of the day, music is just... genres are defined by the proper instruments, vocal style. Everything underneath is just chords and notes, you know what I mean? It's just how we decide to... What paintbrush do we want to use for the colors? I just came up with that right now. That was beautiful. Oh, I just noticed something. I would say that's mostly like Latin version instead of like Latin guitar specific version, but whatever. I promise that's not a actually moment. It's just because that's the whole like Latin feel. Like there was a lot of keyboard there and all that, but something I just noticed. I don't know if I mentioned it before, but you know the world being multicolored. I noticed. So is that. Has that always been a thing? Have I just never noticed? Is all Mario stuff multicolored in the font? I really have no idea. Oh yeah, they also just announced the movie too. I haven't seen any of the movies. I've never even seen the Sonic movies either. If you haven't noticed by this channel, there's a lot of stuff I just haven't experienced. I just kind of live in my own little bubble and go about my day and like strum my guitar and sleep. Yeah, so again, not to dive too much into this whole music theory thing, but it really just goes to show you, because you don't even need to know what I'm saying or understand theory at all to get what's happening here. That's what's so fascinating about it, and that's what I've learned. You could decide to go the technical route and talk all these, oh, where they're going into the fifth, and but if you just listen to like what's happening at the most fundamental level, that's really exciting. You know, we took one thing that was made in 1996 or 7, whatever. Years later, you know, sounds more complicated than it is, but you know, take the key of the song, what its tonal center, establish that. That's easy. That's the easiest part. Learn the melody, second easiest part, and then after that, decide what instruments to the genre, and that's it. You know, everything else is just kind of like a I could almost assume that this didn't have that many takes. This almost feels improvised. There's probably a couple takes, but it sounds, especially with the Latin kind of genre, it sounds like it was just jammed. You know, record a couple takes, and they just do their thing. The big band version didn't sound like that because that's more structured. Anyways, what I'm saying though is like you can turn this one motif or melody into hundreds of genres. You know, you can make a metal version, and I think there are some Mario games with metal songs, right? There's it's one of the Paper Marios. During like some dragon fight, there's like some metal parts too. So I don't know. Basically, at the end of the day, Mario is like something that has always intimidated me, if I'm being honest, and I'm very close to experiencing it. So it's exciting, and I hope I do it justice. By the way, if you never see me play games or anything, if you want to know what kind of like player I am, I like to think I do the games justice. So don't worry about me just like blowing through it or something. I do just about everything. I do side quests. I talk to NPCs. I nearly do everything that's not completion. You know, like I don't platinum or anything. Yeah. So I look forward to experiencing Nintendo, and that was really cool. Let me know your favorite version. Let me know about, did you play the original? Did you play Mario Kart World? Just tell me your experience with Nintendo, because I need to be intimidated more. Thank you for that. That really actually like uplifted my mood. I'm being totally sincere. I have to remember that, you know, for me, music is the best medicine. And there's times where I don't want to do this because my headspace isn't right, but it always gets better when I hear this stuff. So thank you to the requesters, and I'll see you soon in Nintendo. Thanks to everyone you see on screen. I could not be here without their support. My name is Jesse in the auditorium. Peace.